So when I went to the post office, check it out, it was like $500 to send these books out. So I said, oh shit. And somehow Charlie and I came up with this idea that, well, maybe Malort will give us some money. So I took a picture out of, we hadn't made the book yet, and we put in a picture of this bartender holding a picture of Malort.
Right.
Now, we didn't want to have an advertisement in the book because part of the thing was we wanted to be independent of that shit, do whatever we want.
Sure.
So I called Malort and I said, some lady answers, I said, hey, I'd like to speak to the CEO or the marketing executive. And she goes, what do you want? And I said, well, I'd like to talk to somebody. She said, listen, I'm the janitor, the chief cook and bottle washer. I do everything here. I own the place. And so I talked to her and I said, what we'd like to do is send these books out. And what I will do is put an insert in. If you could send me some labels, not the labels, they used to put this thing around the top of the bottle. I don't know if they still do, but it said,
Get that bottle down.
is there a black label that hangs down on it?
Oh no, that's
Okay.
in the cabinet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I got one though from Charlie.
Right. So they used to put a thing that hung around the top of the bottle that said, are you man enough to drink Malort?
Okay.
They said, most people, they said, like 1 out of 100 don't like it. They said, but persevere. After, you might like it. After 3 drinks, you're ours forever.
He likes it. Yeah.
So this was their marketing thing. Not everybody likes it.
Everybody has a different description of what it tastes like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she sent us the labels and $500. So we put the labels in. And when we ran out of labels, what's his name? The printer, Ricky Ames.
Oh yeah, Ricky Ames worked at the printing shop.
And he printed us up everything. So we, instead of the label being the original label, we made it bigger so it fit in the book perfectly. And we put it in books forever.
Right.
We would just put the label in there, that phrase,
Yeah.
persevere, you'll be ours forever.
I like that.
And so I actually
They have a
a
skeleton.
yeah, I have a bottle of Malort. So then Charlie and I ended up in a Malort movie. Oh, so what happened after the book, some guy, Dan Brown or somebody, I don't know his name, Mark Brown his name is. He is a writer for the Sun-Times. He called up Malort and was saying, hey, who drinks this shit? And she goes, I don't know. She goes, but call this guy Ken Hartman. He drinks it. So this guy calls me, and I talked a little bit about it. I said, honestly, my brother Charlie drinks it. So he called Charlie. So they wrote an article in the Sun-Times about Charlie and me liking Malort. And then a guy who was making a movie called us, and we got Pablo, who was really a Malort fan, and we went to 3J's Tavern in Bensonville and made this movie about Malort. And then they had the grand opening of the film was at the Chop Shop in Chicago downtown.
That was a great place.
Yeah. And so we were in there, and then we got up on stage and talked about Malort. So we're sitting there. But I helped Pat, the owner, up, and I have a bottle that she signed, which I'd probably give to Charlie actually. But
Right.
it was pretty cool. That's our whole story.
5 minutes of fame.
Everywhere we went with Charlie, he always carried a couple bottles in his bags. We go to the bar, he put it behind the bar. All right, he'd give it to the bar. He'd give it to him.
Right.
We go back there again. Charlie's like, hey, let me get a shot of Malort. Top shelf. They're charging him top shelf. He goes, I brought that bottle in here. But yeah, it took off. It's like biker bars. If you ain't drinking Malort, you ain't a biker no more.
So then it became a hipster thing.
Yeah.
And then it's all...
Dad knew about it because in '72, after our football season at Fenton, we went over to Tom Davidson's house, and they had this huge party, parents, kids, everything. and Dad brought a bottle of Malort, and he gave it to us. He said, "Here, drink this." So, I didn't know what it was, and everything sucked back then. You're a kid, and
You just drank it anyway, yeah.
And I remembered that, and then forgot all about it until Ken and Charlie, and it's like, why do I know that? And that's what it was. Because, Dad always liked to say, here, have this, and watch everybody's faces and stuff.
Right.
Well, we have a few women friends that like to smoke cigars, and they are the ones that like Malort. As women, they're like, oh, every time I explain, do you have any more of that?
So I never even heard of Malort until the book.